Hello everybody, this is a crocheted sphere or a model of a crocheted sphere representing planet Earth created in CrochetPARADE, which is my project on crochetparade.org. As you can see here we have all the oceans and the large land masses living on a sphere. So I want to show you a couple of things here. I want to show you how I made this project, and I'm happy to share the instructions here. So if you want to crochet this, you can do it yourself, or if you want to change the size of the sphere, if this is too big, and it is a large project, you should be able to do it yourself. So I started with the crochet sphere calculator on ftansky.net. You put in some sphere circumference, generate pattern. It creates a pattern here for you. Now this pattern is not perfectly correct. There are some issues, like for example here it should be 6 single crochets. Anyway, you need to work around this pattern to make sure it actually is correct. I found problems with it before, but it's a perfect starting point. So if you just copy it in CrochetPARADE, you can see CrochetPARADE highlights things that it doesn't understand. So you want to clear some of these rows here. CrochetPARADE doesn't care about this enumeration. Next, we want to use whatever the built-in stitches are in CrochetPARADE. So for a magic ring, we use ring as a stitch. So we go over here and erase this and type in ring. When it says 5 single crochets in the magic ring, we need to use a label. So label the ring with the dot R. The dot means whatever follows is a label. And to stitch these 5 single crochets in the labeled stitch, what you do is add R. So there you go. And you can see the highlights are removed. Fasten up, that's not a thing in CrochetPARADE. You can use tie up, which will just do like a slip stitch of 0 height, or you can do something like a single crochet. How many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these together. There you go. Ink is an increase, so let's define it. An increase in CrochetPARADE is defined as SC2 ink. INC. And oh, this is, let me just refresh the website. I found a bug here in the highlighter. There you go. Now it works. So again, before you input the definition and after you input the definition, immediately the INC highlight is removed. I found a mistake in the code previously. Then what we do is we define the decrease as SC2 together. Crochet 2 stitches together. And again, all that is documented here. Let me scroll down and find it. There you go. Increases and decreases. And then deck 2, according to the crocheting sphere simulator, is defined as SC3 together. So 3 stitches together. You press Control Enter and bam, you get the sphere. And as you can see, this ball here on the bottom is sort of fine. Here, however, we have a mess, and part of the reason is the stitch counts don't match. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stitches, but here we have only 5. How can that be? Well, it's missing a row. So anyway, you need to work with this. You need to fix it, and you can fix it by just copying maybe this line here, and oops, and converting all the decreases into increases, or rather this line, I'm sorry, this line. Let's try it. I'm not going to do 3 stitches together, I'm going to do only these. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, we need those. Okay, so let's try it. We need 3 single crochet increase. That's how this fella encodes it. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so this should look better. All right, this bump here that you see, part of the reason is Again, CrochetPARADE is never perfect, so expect on a scale of a couple of stitches to have bumps like that. I personally would work with 6 single crochets here in the ring. I think that's a better proposition than this sphere, but anyway, you can change the sphere to your liking. Now, once you change the sphere, you can export the file containing nodes and edges. So let's export it. And once you open it, let me switch here. You're going to see something like this. The output is the stitch number. So this is row and stitch number and total stitch number in the project. And these are 3D coordinates for each stitch. And after a while, you get how the edges are connected in the sphere. So then what I did is I wrote a code which takes those coordinates, three-dimensional coordinates, converts them to longitude and latitude, and checks which of these stitches lie within a country or not. And if they're outside a country, then it's a good chance they're either in an ocean or in a large sea. So then you can color them blue. And that's how I got this pattern. Now, of course, this looks a little bit more complicated. The reason is you constantly switch colors, so you have to break up these stitches here that you get. Let's say you need to do you need to expand the 2 single crochets into single crochet and check which one is which color, and then simplify the pattern. So if there are 10 single crochets, don't call it SC 10 times, just simplify it. And same thing with patterns like this. 3 times 13 single crochets and then a decrease of 2 single crochets tied together. So anyway, you do that and you get this pattern, which anyway, that's how I obtain the pattern that you see here. Now you might want to publish the pattern with amigurumi. I mean, with the sphere. This is oops, sorry. I think this pattern here that you see is pretty transparent. So you start with the blue color, you do the magic ring, and then we'll talk about SCA. This is just single crochet. So there are 6 single crochets crocheted in the ring, then a single crochet, and then 5 single crochet increases, and so on. I'll tell you what SCA is in a minute. Right now it's just single crochet. So you can just follow this pattern. Now, what else you might want to do? Well, if you're doing amigurumis, you might want to share the crochet diagram. Now, if you share the crochet diagram here, you're gonna get a pretty substantial mess. The reason is you're gonna have stitches from the foreground overlapping the background. One option is to, let's see, hide everything beyond the 20th row, let's say, and just to publish a pattern like this. But then here at the edges, you're still gonna get overlapping stitches. You're gonna get something like this, okay? And so what are options here? Well, an option is to let's say to disassemble the sphere by ripping along the equator. Now, how do you do that? To rip along the equator, what you can do is you can replace the single crochets around the equator with a chain. So this is what I did. Let's see here. I ripped the project along the equator, and this is what it looks like. Now, how did I achieve that? So in the middle, where the equator is, which is line 33, again, forget about SCA for now. It's just single crochet for now. I put in a B everywhere, so it would be SCB, 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 and so on. And you have an option. SCB can be defined as just a single crochet, which is, you can write it as either SCB is a copy of single crochet like this, and then it will stitch the whole sphere back together, or you can define it as a copy of chain. So replacing single crochet with chain immediately splits the sphere into 2 halves. And CrochetPARADE tries to repel faraway stitches, so that's why the 2 spheres are separated like that. Now, you might still say, well, if I export this, there will be a stitch overlap. So what do I do with that? How do I prevent that? Well, you can click on 2D instead of a 3D calculation, and then the code will try to distribute the stitches in a reasonable pattern in 2 dimensions, and I did that here. And the reason these are all pre-calculated is because they take a while. So here it is. This is a flattened version of the sphere. And now if you export standard crochet chart, the standard crochet chart looks like, whoops, like this. And let me zoom in here. Again, this is an enormous project with something like 7,000 stitches, so of course you have to really zoom in here, but you start with the magic ring and you start with the single crochets which go around. Here we have an increase, another increase, and so on, and you can just follow the pattern. And once you hit the equator, you flip the pattern over upside down. So until now we're going counterclockwise. Now if you look, that's if you look at the project from above. Now if you look from below, we go, so we just need to continue going around, and this is how you would go around on the other side until the end, where you just tie in these last few stitches together. So that's one way you can do it. And you can do this for spheres, you can do this for any crochet pattern you want, especially amigurumi patterns, which are 3-dimensional, and you want to flatten them so you can publish your instructions. And of course, this is just a you can use this as a template to build your more careful pattern if you want. Anyway, another way is to split the pattern along a meridian. So from North Pole to South Pole, you just want to open it up. You can do that by just replacing the first single crochet stitch with, well, the way I did it is I called it SCA here. And again, I pre-calculated it. Whoops, there you go. It's opened up. And call SCA. Now here you need to be a little bit more careful. You want to rip the blue stitch. So for the equator, we rip the red parts, meaning the posts of the single crochets, and we converted the single crochets to chains. Now if you want to rip the blue part, which is just the continuous row in crocheting, you need to be a little bit more familiar with the CrochetPARADE language. Whoops, I did something here. And what you do is you want to use the low-level definition of a stitch and rip that blue line apart by adding the skip. You can go into the manual to see what all this means if you want to, or you can just copy it and paste it. So I define SCA to be that. Now, of course, you can just have SCA as a single crochet. And in that case, whoops, what did I do? Oh yeah, this is the old definition. Anyway, this is before I fixed this bug where the definition, if it's on the first line, didn't work. Anyway, now it's fixed. So you can define SCA as just a copy of a single crochet, and you can recover the sphere, or you can define it this way, and then you open up the sphere. Now let's show the colors. I'm going to press C here. Let's wait a little bit, and there you go. The sphere is now opened up. And again, you can flatten it by choosing a 2-dimensional rendering, and you get a neat projection of planet Earth, which I'm curious which projection looks similar to this one. I should go on Wikipedia and check. But I find it pretty neat, even as a visual. And of course, you can export it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. You can export the pattern, and you can see, okay, if I start from the North Pole, I need to do these 6 single crochets around, and you need to be able to follow what's happening here. You need to sort of go around, and then continue round and round and round and round, knowing that this thread attaches to that thread, because again, we ripped the thread over there. And all the way to the South Pole. Now here things are a little bit messier, but of course, if you edit the scene Inkscape, you can fix it. So anyway, these are some ideas I've been playing with. I'm thinking of putting this pattern into the examples here on the drop-down menu. So anybody that wants to play with it can do that. And if you want me to publish patterns of spheres of smaller number of stitches, just let me know. I have those as well. Or rather, I have the tools to do that. Happy crocheting, everybody. Take care.